Let me see what that looks like. Hi, guys. Just taking a look over at the Michael Hearn show on Generation Iron.
Top left two ones.
Yeah,
So you got the one, you got the two. And we'll just keep
that's gonna be
we'll
yeah.
just keep filling it up.
That's gold. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I'll put a story up actually too right now.
Uh, Story tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. This is great. Yeah. We're moving and grooving. Hey guys, over it's Instagram Michael Hearn show.
That's it.
Yeah. So hey Giga Chad, what's happening?
Speaking of this,
Thinking I gotta do this one right for the gift. Thing is looking like it's gonna cut my steak for me today. All right, what do we got here? Chin up, Captain.
Dynamite.
Yeah. Clever. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. I'm like, are you guys doing the inclines? I'm liking that.
Can isolate the operator?
You can. I keep trying to tell them. I don't want to show too much, man. I don't want you guys to get all turned on, right? All right. Mary. Mary, when's your next blood work? When are you doing? I saw it something at the end last night. The gardener's here. Jeffrey, will you just close those doors? Uh, Actually, let's switch. You get them going.
We got to do it like this. There we go. Now I'm in control. I was super muted. So I'm going to give you guys a couple links to follow really quick so that you can stay on plan with Mike. Because right now, Mike's been doing, just finished a couple movies, and then he went on over to Power Bodybuilding from the dry out. And I see all the tags that we get, people looking sliced and diced on the dry out. But it is time to switch up things, and you can do different things with the dry out. If you want to slice up on it, sorry, with power bodybuilding, if you want to slice up on it, you can. If you want to get strong as hell, you can. If you want to get big as hell, you can. So you're going to work with the nutrition alongside the training, guys. So this link right there, booyah, that'll get you up to power bodybuilding. And of course, that is amazing on its own, but we all know what the secret juice is, right, guys? Mike, do you know what the secret juice
We
is?
gotta always do the
Mike's clearly,
secret juice.
he knows what the secret juice is. The meal plan, guys. So, a couple links for you guys. Click those, explore them, sign up to them, get into the Titan crew. That'll get you access to the check-ins. You guys always see us talk about check-ins. You know what? We'll have Mike, because I think that's kind of where we're going into this. Because we're heading into the Titan crew chat.
Yeah, for you guys. Hi, everybody. We are back. So, today's to talk about because we don't really get to talk about it too much. We get pulled off. Uh, Titan Crew. It is on Facebook. And that way, pretty much everybody can get a Facebook. Even if you don't want social media, you can still get Facebook enough to get into the Titan Crew. And what I love now, this last couple weeks, is we said, hey, besides the check-ins, I'd love to see form. And so now people are actually putting their exercises on the page. And when I get my downtime, I go on there and I look over everything and I kind of say great or critique, give them some insight from me on if there's something maybe they're not thinking about. But just try to give my two helpful hints on exercising, because it is not that you're doing it, it is how you're doing it. And something I saw today, I put up a post and I said, what did you train today? And I know you guys are going to get this because it's a funny thing. When you work out and when you fit it in, put it that way, when you fit it in, you're getting it done, but you're not doing it right. So it's like, hey, yeah, I went over, did 25 minutes, hit workout and got out. I only have time to do it during lunch.
I sweated.
And I'm like, you're missing what that is. It's like the guy, there's so many aspects of that. I mean, that's just a metaphor. He's telling us what he's doing, but use that as a metaphor. I only got this much time to take care of myself before I get back to it. And so if you're clocking, and I said this always, if you're clocking your workout, you're probably not working out. And so, well, hey, I got a life. I got a job to do. I got kids, family, softball, got to drive them from practice to practice and all that.
Fuck those kids.
The truth of the matter is I know guys that are actually, when you go, you're busy and you're not productive. I'm not saying you guys aren't productive. I'm just saying I know guys that are extremely bogged down billionaires that have 100 things and they're still productive. They still get it in, but they also dedicate a large amount of time to taking care of their health. If it's a training plus the red light therapy, if it's training and a massage, or training and a sauna, if it's training and doing meal prep, all those kind of things take a little time. And unless you schedule that in, you're going to half-ass it. And so that's what we try to help guide with ideas over at the private group on Facebook called the Titan Crew. And it's a lot of, everybody there is like-minded, which is great, because then you got a community of people that are going, I get that I have a job, but I need to be healthy to do my job. And I get that I have a family, but I got to be healthy, not just today, but I got to be healthy in 20 years when the kids are graduating and so on and so forth. So
how do you get those like-minded people in one place?
Well, two things. The reason is because we do have what's the terminology? A way to siphon through the talkers and the doers. And so that's what's great about the Titan Crew, because the Titan Crew is 100% free for everybody that's subscribed to the meal plan and or training plan. And so when you get or attempt to get in the Titan Crew, you have to answer those questions, and you got to make sure that all those questions are answered correctly. And that is your sweat equity. Sweat equity. That means that you're putting something out to get something. You're not just going to get handouts. You're putting something out going, I am committed to this. And that way, the Titan Crew, which is free, again, for everybody that's subscribed to the meal plan and training plans, get my time and don't have to pay for that time, and gets this whole crew of like-minded people, which are great. And you can kind of see they're like-minded because they're all pushing each other and motivating each other. There's no negativity in there. There's only, hey, we can do better here. Let's get going on this. Let's keep this person going. He's going through a rough patch. Let's get these newbies understanding how to post on here. And the posting is great because you can post how your meals are, how you're changing up, how I have you switching programs, and if you're on like a similar program as somebody else, how I've monetized, not monetized, made it more fit for you and your rep range relative to the other individual. And then you can ask questions on that. Well, what did you see in me that I could do more than this gentleman? And then I'll explain that too. That way, you also, I think the great thing about Titan Crew is that you guys learn. What do you see in there? What do you
That
have
is
to add?
insane. You give people a program, guys. All you have to do, you go online, you sign up for the meal plan with Mike, and that's not the end of the journey there. You go on to other websites, you download meal plans, you download these PDFs, ebooks. That's it. They got your dollar. You're out. Boom. See ya. You're another number in the ledger. I think it is absolutely insane that somebody like Mike, who isn't somebody, he's obviously. I mean, you see the shit on the wall. You've seen it. He gives out his time to individually sculpt those plans for you, and then a step further from that, talk to you about training, go over the form, anything in between. Your blood work, your family. Hey, I want to make sure this is okay. Are you sleeping well? Like little things like that are really the keys and the things that are going to set you up to win. Not a thing you download. You can download a plan from anyone, and I'm sure they work. If you work, you follow the plan. If it's from a reputable source and it's good, it'll work. But that's not really what this is about. This is about building a community, people that are like-minded, that are trying to grow, that are growing, and that are making changes. And when you surround yourself with people like that, that's some shit you can't get from an ebook. That's some stuff you can't get anywhere else. And it still blows my mind that Mike is doing that for everyone. Not a couple people, everyone. Take advantage of that while you can. We used to have a group that was open to everyone, and we cut the head off that group and really just,
Yeah,
right.
that was 10,000.
Those 10,000,
And we were okay saying goodbye.
Right. So guys, it's not about like that. We killed that old group because we wanted a smaller, more dedicated group of people that were, you know, warriors, bringing that sweat equity that actually wanted it, not just asking questions that are meaningless. Asking questions to ask a question. You know what I mean?
So this individual is asking, Mike, I'm very fat. What do you recommend to lose weight? To make a decision, that's the first thing. Just to make a decision that you want to. Because I know that this question is something that you frequently do because you're not fat from yesterday and today. You've been probably a little heavy for some time, and you've always probably asked an individual, hey, how do you lose weight? And they gave you some probably good advice that you did not utilize. And the reason why you didn't utilize it, again, is sweat equity. They gave you, you did nothing with it. Unless you make the commitment, and that's why I said make a decision, get in the Titan Crew, and then actually do it. And I'll give you the advice over there.
It's like when people ask, "Hey, Mike, what motivates you?"
Yeah.
It's gonna come and go.
Love this. So for anybody that's going, I work 12-hour days and stuff like that. This guy's a savage. I work for myself. So I work 7 days a week, and I work pretty much from during the workouts to after the workouts through until I go to bed at night. And I love it. I love it. Doing something stressful is a job that you don't like. And you work 40 hours. And I love that simple analogy of it. And then you could work for yourself and work 12, 14-hour days, and you love it. And you got no problem doing an 80-hour week because it is so fun and it's you. So that's where it's at. And this guy, I'll guarantee, is loving it enough or loves life enough and wakes up going, hey, I get to do this again. I get to do this. And that's what's great about it. So thanks for staying that. And I appreciate you guys that are still getting in the health. Yeah, there's a great example of the Titan crew support, um, the push from each other. And the cool thing about it is something I didn't like about Fit Plan was that they turn and burn. They try to get a certain amount of people. They give you a program, and then they come back to you going, "Hey, write another program." They're bored of that one, and it's like, well, that's not how fitness in your body works.
What are you talking about?
And it's like, that's okay, just do it. You'll make money, and that's what we're about. We're making money. Turn and burn. You're going to lose this many, and you're going to get this many. And I'm like, I want to do this legitly. This isn't my foundation to pay my mortgage or anything like that. This is my fun. And I want to get people to be out there and talk about, well, Michael Hearn's programs. The reason why they work is because of the teaching behind it, not the program just itself. And so that's why I like it. And Mary's one of those examples that really understands it's the community and learning about this stuff. And again, you're not always going to be good. You're going to have ups and downs, and how to stay consistent is the most ultimate goal. And what I mean by consistent is consistently doing it right. Now, what is right? Well, if you're off season, if you're dealing with an injury, there's a right way to train then. If you're taking a couple weeks off on vacation, there's a right way to train then. And maybe that's not training itself, but the nutrition. And if you're going, hey, I want to go get ready for summer, which is the start right now, right? We're May. So let's think about that. Is 30-day blitz right now right for you to get ready for summer? Of course it is. You can blast through it right now if you can handle it.
I'm not saying you can handle it.
It's a good point. He's getting you guys. If you can't do blitz number 1, the ultimate, then do blitz number 2, which is a toned down, more realistic on time for you guys and all that. But if you guys are psycho like me and will make the time, because it's 30 days to whole transformation, I would recommend doing that. That way by June, you're ready for the beach and you can just sit back and pop the top and enjoy. All right, Mary, love you, kid.
There's the blitz right now. If you want to give it a go. Dude that said he's fat. Look, man, you try that plan out.
You ain't fat no more.
Seriously, that will. I'm not even talking about the pounds you're going to lose. I'm talking about the mindset change that's going to occur. So yeah, you're going to.
We'll go further on that
because have a plan for 30 days, and you're going to lose in the first 2 weeks. You're gonna cut down, and then in 3 weeks, come on, and then after 4 weeks, ridiculous. Now the weight loss doesn't just stop there, because now after that, you've been in the Titan crew, you've established that community, you've met new people. Your mindset's changing because of all the little things in the blitz that your routine changes. You're now used to getting up in the morning and doing your cardio. You're now used to prepping out your meals throughout the day. You're now used to being on a plan that's setting you up to win. And the little changes throughout the day, there's going to be changes throughout the day where you're at the store and you see some Doritos and chips and shit, and you're going to remember to yourself, none of that, I didn't eat any of that on the 30-day blitz. I don't want that. Why would I go off this incredible path that I know works? Because look at the body, look at the changes I'm seeing. So your mind's going to change the most out of the plan. That's going to stick with you for your life. So I'm just saying quickly.
So wait a minute. So far we talked about that there are apps that you can go to and get a workout, and they're going to show you form and stuff, and they're going to take you, and you'll do it. And you give something some months, it's going to move you in a right direction with your consistency and getting it. Will it pay dividends in 10 years?
That's huge.
That's probably not, and that's the one thing that I think that the reason, one of the main reasons I got away from Fit Plan is the fact of that the workouts have to make sense. Um, and it has to make sense for the time that you're doing that. So I can try to not just get you in shape now, but it's how you get in shape. And can then we maintain that? And then can that pay dividends to you like a bank account in 10 years because you, again, didn't put mileage on your ligaments and joints. You built some density in the bones and your frame. And you built muscles with the least amount of work, but still got better. And again, the thing you guys got to understand, the gym is about the least amount of work, but still get better. It's not about the guy that does 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yes, it is. That sounds so badass. So when I go in and I hit the 4-hour workout, I warmed up on the treadmill for an hour. I'm dripping sweat. I'm bouncing around left and right. I'm a better exerciser.
Well, there's a time for that, and that would be only during cutting season at the last stage of that cutting.
You keep going back to time. There's a time.
Yeah.
There's a time. You're trying to tell me that it's not, if I get like a program that's, not set in stone forever. There's strategy involved in this. There's ways, time to go up, time to go down, time to go fast, time to go slow.
Yeah, he's got a great point there. And the point there is every program is either 44 weeks or 12 weeks. And depending on your fitness level, most of you will probably do the blitz once and then come off of that onto another program. Now, if you're very overweight, then the blitz maybe twice if we're keeping track of everything and we're keeping a good eye on you, how you're doing.
Good eye on you.
A good eye on you. And
that means talking to Mike and the Titan crew.
Check-ins.
Doing your check-ins and saying, hey, Mike, I'm on week, 30-day blitz. I'm on my 8th week or, 6th week. Weight's not dropping. I'm doing the most insane plan.
Why isn't it dropping?
Yeah, if you didn't have that eye on you, you would continue going down that path.
Yeah.
And with Mike's guidance, he can peel back a layer and go, hey, you know what? I see something that your body is doing, and it's telling you, and I'm going to educate you really quick on what this is. And now you can go from a place where there's a plateau. You guys all know what that is when you don't make any progress, and boop, just by a little couple words that Mike can tell you can change it. So that having that not accountability, but having that coach's eye as you go through a program, it's huge, like incredibly huge. And my 67-year-old bodybuilder, question that I have is shoulders limited on overhead pressing, trying to do presses behind the neck to get that range of motion feels better. Suggestions, thanks.
I would look into some PRP. I would look into a secondary prior to PRP of amino acids like peptides, BPC, and TB500 to try to heal some of that up. And then I would continue to try to do range of motion. And I know the exact feeling of when you're talking about I'm doing behind the neck press to really open it up and get that stretch. I love that. I absolutely love that for me when I go into the gym. And I went into the gym this week, first week back after the PRP, taking it nice and slow and easy. And just that stretch and getting it down there. Took probably 8 sets to touch my traps and just have it relaxed and then pressing out of it. And so I just love it. And I'm glad that you're trying to do that. Also take a stick and just kind of rotate back and forth until you can kind of do a little bit more and more and more. Never try to overstretch it so much. You have next week to do it again and the week after to do it again. But it's a great thing. But those are the recommendation. Recommendation is continue to stretch it. Peptides, amino acids to help rebuild or help there. And then PRP to try to stimulate that healing process in that area. You could always do stem cell. Just it's a very well, depending on the person. To me, it seems pricey. I love the PRP, and the PRP works for me at this stage. Maybe on later down the road, I'll do the stem cell. Eddie, loving the dry out. I know it's oof. Are you loving it because of what it's doing to the body, or also what it does to your mind? And I want to jump in this because this is something Jeff was talking about. The 30-day blitz sets you up to lose weight, right? It sets you up to stay consistent, to time management, to be productive. And you'll need to do that during those 30 days. Not 365 days, but just 30 days to be in incredible shape. But what it does to you mentally to test yourself is amazing on not giving up and finishing that program. And that 30th day going, holy sheesh, I just fought tooth and nail and I made it. And this is what I get. And I also get a different change in mindset that I can move forward much more confidently in me, and I'll make right decisions. What do you see over there? What do you like about this one?
How can I do a bulk and try to keep my core small? What do I like about it? I like that he wants to bulk.
I like that you want to bulk. So just keep in mind, when you're bulking, it's like a 3-to-1 ratio, 4-to-1 ratio. You're hoping to get 1 pound of muscle, probably with 2 to 3 or 4 pounds of fat. And the reason why this is fat is easy to get rid of.
Not hard.
Muscle is hard to build. And so you got to remember, as you're trying to build that muscle, you will get some fat, and that's called bulking. And so the cool thing about that is that you always know that you're in a situation to where you're putting on some muscle and yes, some extra fluff around you. And you're trying to do this in a reasonable time. Now I know I'm going to lose half you here. You're trying to do it within a year. I know you don't want to hear that. I know you want to hear 3 months. But it is. You want to bulk for a year. And I wish more youngsters would use that time as you're at an age to where you can put on such a great amount of muscle and take that year to put that size on. Instead of being in a rush. And I think most people, and I just talked, if Jeremy's on here, Jeremy's one of those, he's off season and it's not been 3-4 months. And he's like, I got to do another cut. And I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Did he hit you with that?
He hit me with that.
Dude, you've been like 3 weeks, dude, like a month. What are you talking about? Here's right here.
This cat, solid.
15, bro, you put on 15 pounds and you're ready to fucking cut?
Yeah.
That is all in your... I'm not even finishing this.
It is and that's why a lot of people don't want to put on that kind of muscle, because they don't want to do the bulk. And it's something I'm so glad that I was patient as a teenager and patient. And when my older brother told me, I said to him, I must have been 14, 15. I said, if I do these bent over rows every week, how many inches will I put on my back? Stupid question, but I was young. And he goes, you probably get like an inch, inch in a year. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'll wait. By then I'll be 15. So there has to be some kind of understanding that this does take time to create an art piece. Now, if you don't want to do an art piece, let's just talk about the facts of, like, so this guy right here is already setting himself up to lose, because what he's doing is going, I want to bulk, but I want to say he's tapered. Well, then you don't want to bulk. And I'm not going to be the guy that says you can bulk and keep the tapered waist. What that's called, I guess, is the new term, is a slow kind of, what do they call that?
Oh, Jesus. I don't even want
it's
don't even want to give any
a minute
credibility.
raise in calories, and you can try that. It's just going to be a longer duration, a much longer duration. So instead of putting on some good size in over a year and you come back the following year, like if you see Olympias, the greatest in the freaking world, and in 1 year they can make so many changes because those guys shut it down and go off season for 9 to 10 months, and then they cut up for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's a big change on somebody that's already pinnacle.
Yeah.
So imagine what a beginner intermediate, and an intermediate to me is like 15 to 20 years. So that period. So
yeah. The net gains you'll make from a 10-month bulk and a 2-month cut are far greater than the 3-year person that's main gaining, right? So that means if somebody's bulking for 10 months and then they cut, made up number, they gain 5 pounds of muscle, right? The person that took
that's the average. That's a
right?
good amount.
The person that's taking 3 years to do that, same amount of muscle, and do you want that in 3 years or do you want that in 1? I'm just saying. 3 years is a long, dude. 3 cycles of that, okay? And you're you do 3 cycles of that?
It's
For
15
3
pounds. It starts adding up.
But then think about the age. Think about your age adding up over time. You know what I mean? Do you want to have the physique you want in your 20s, or let's say you start in your 30s? Well, now you're almost in your fucking 40s, and you finally got the physique you want.
So yeah, when you start adding up the 5 pounds a year, doing it right, it's a tremendous amount in 4 years. 20 pounds. That's a lot of great muscle.
Don't be a pussy. Just cut for 2 months. It's not hard.
So the reality of it is building a lot of muscle is tough, and that's why a lot of people shortchange themselves, but then they also can't keep that for a lifetime. So just push hard. Cutting is a much easier process, and if there's people here that are overweight, like the one gentleman said, get in the Titan crew, start slicing and dicing right now. You will be a different human within a month and a tremendously different person in 3 months. You will finish out the summer looking incredible. But anytime that you're asking questions and you continue to wait, that's just putting you farther and farther behind. Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Raw food, clean, like Rich Piana said. Eat raw.
I don't know what that means.
Eat real food. That's what he's saying.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Can you elaborate on your stretching routine?
Stretch with the exercise that you're doing. So if you're squatting, you're stretching. Just a FYI, it keeps asking about stretching. My stretching is in the exercise I'm doing. So if I'm doing shoulders, I'm stretching to rotate the shoulders all the way up and all the way down, all the way forward and all the way back. And it's in the exercise I'm performing. I usually start with a large range of motion for any of the first exercises. If it's arms, it's probably reverse bench because the rotation through the shoulders, through the arms, through the chest, through the tricep, the longest stretch possible there. If it's squats, it's a nice deep down to 12-inch box and opening those knees up extremely wide. Or leg press. Put my knees next to my head. All right, a couple more questions. We're going to finish up today.
I love watching you gents lift, and I mean truly lift the weight. Treat lightweight heavy, and I'll keep that mindset.
There we go. I love that. I love that. He's heard us say that over and over.
Yeah.
Treat lightweight heavy, and the heavyweight will be light.
Hey, Mike, I'm 40, had a hip replacement due to an accident. Can you recommend the best leg exercises I could do to develop leg muscle? Thank you.
I would, I'm going to suggest, because muscle is going to come from how you're eating. I'm going to suggest a range of motion. The one thing I do see is the two aspects of a new hip. I see the aspects of the scar tissue on the individual that is not getting an extreme range of motion. And I see the scar tissue on the people that do a great range of motion. Um, a lot of my friends have new hips, and I think the best of what they did was understanding that lose the crutch right away, get back into moving, and get back into that Jeff just said, like stretching that leg press, getting those knees down around your head, deep squats, sumos, opening that hip up before any scar tissue locks up and makes it. And again, you're 40. You're 40, man. You are a young cat. If you don't do that now and you're thinking, well, the scar tissue is there, I'll break it up when I'm 50. I just would not recommend that mindset. 40 is different than 50. So just keep that in mind. 40 is different than 45. So this is your time. Break that scar tissue up. Massages like Jimmy Bluff or somebody that's really good. Get in there and break it up. PRP to keeping it healthy and healing. And then just use a wide stance on a lot of your exercise to keep it open. Now, development of muscle is a side effect of you weight training if you're weight training correctly. So as long as you're weight training correctly and stimulating the muscle and stressing the muscle and stressing that area, then you will build along with the nutrition.
Yeah.
But it has to have the nutrition aspect of it as that. It can't be just weightlifting. Because remember, weightlifting is just a stimulant. It's just a stimulus. So for everybody that thinks you're building muscle by weightlifting, you're only stimulating the possibility of growth. Then you have to feed it. And the feeding of it will depend on if you're slicing and dicing or if you're getting large and in charge and bulking. Okay? Hope that helped you out. Somebody said something to me the other day, and we put up a post, and the guy goes, way to utilize, listen, apply, and take the knowledge you learned from the legends before you and pass it on. Mm-hmm. And understand that that's on top of me understanding some flaws in some things that I learned, and the basics. Basic foundation that when you're at the pinnacle, you basically all communicate the same way.
Yeah, right.
And so I'm just passing information on from what I've learned and how I've been able to apply it and how it's helped me, and minimize the negative parts of it that didn't work. So I'm glad about that. And I'm glad that I get to share you with that. And then I get to share it deeper and personally to you one-on-one and in the crew of the Titan group. And that's what today's talk was about. Mm-hmm. So one more last time, here is the Titan crew link. Best way to find it is go to Facebook, type in groups, Mike O'Hearn, and you'll find the Titan crew or Mike O'Hearn. And remember, there is a little interview process to get in there. Not everybody gets in. I know that we have like 200 right now, just from the other day, of messages to get in there, I guess you would say. But out of those 200 messages, 3 answered them, did the protocol. So there's going to be a decline of 197 people trying to get in there.
And that's better for those 3 people that got in.
Yeah, I would rather work with those 3 than 200, because 200 is going to be asking questions instead of listening. You ever heard the term, you're thinking about your answer when I'm saying something instead of just listening to what I have to say, or an individual. Try this out this week when you're with people. Actually listen to the conversation the person's giving you without thinking about your rebuttal. And that's what the Titan crew is. These guys listen to that, they listen to it going, what are you saying? What am I doing wrong on my squat? And then hear it. And don't sit there going, well, wait a minute, hold on. I just listen. Apply. If it doesn't work, move forward. But that's a lost art. And I think that's one of the greatest things growing up with a reading problem is I kept my mouth shut. I wouldn't ask a question because I realized that most likely it is not the right question. And that's a hard thing for a reality, and mostly for a man of age or a woman of age to go, oh, no, I'm asking the right question for me. All right, I'm not going to tell a stockbroker how to do his job. I don't know shit about it. I've seen a little bit on TV and stuff, but I don't know nearly enough. I'll keep my mouth shut. Same thing with my attorney. So that's just a little life lesson. Try to listen if you can. Try to listen if you can. If somebody's trying to help you and trying to give you some advice that maybe they are good to. And again, don't take advice on anybody you wouldn't change places with. I would change places with Robbie because at 80 years old, the guy's a monster and looks incredible. And if I could be 80, anything close to that, boom. So I'll take advice from him. Or how Arnold walks around still healthy as can be. That's another one. It's an amazing thing to see. I mean, like Robbie, there's nobody like Robbie. Look at that.
Robbie sent me that this morning. This is last week. Little reflection. That's last week. Come on.
So it's a great thing.
Nuts.
Great thing, guys. That's it. We're out of here. I'm going to get this guy out of here. You guys are out of here. Have a great night. We're going to be back tomorrow. We're going to do a live right from Gold's tomorrow with my boy, Tony Cavallero. See ya.
Peace.